Hello, my name is Summer. I am doing the first recording for the communicator styles analysis. So I have my tablet here. I'm recording this on my iPhone, and I have my notebook. So the first thing it asks you to do is do your communication style inventory test, and my results were I got 4 A's, 1 C, 4 D's, and 2 B's. So I was mostly passive and assertive, which is kind of interesting. I definitely know that I am passive about a lot of things, but I'm pretty good about being assertive when I need to be. And then the second thing to do is the personality test, and I have taken one last quarter, but I decided to do it again, and I actually got a different result, slightly different, but I think it must be right if I did it a bunch of times. So I got ENFJ, and last quarter I got ENFP, so I guess that changed. But I got 12% extrovert, 34% intuitive, 9% feeling, and 34% judging. So I thought, it makes sense that I would have judging and being kind of passive. I feel like they do go hand in hand. I went to the second part of the personality quiz, and I read about ENFJ. I'll just go through a little bit what I felt represented me and my personality. It says that ENFJs manipulate people and kind of can have a good conversation, or know what they want and get what they want out of people. And I think I'm pretty good at doing that, knowing the right thing to say, and maybe changing people's ideas to get a certain thing. Sometimes I can do that. They see themselves as helpers and enablers, and I definitely am a big helper. I've always been that kind of mom type in my friend groups, and I really like taking care of people, so that definitely is something I relate to. It says that they are organized and they are good at making decisions. I'm definitely organized, but I am not the best at making decisions. I think that being an ENFJ affects the way that I interact with my people personally in a way that's kind of positive, because I'm caring and want to help people. I think that's important, and people like that about me and kind of know me for that. But professionally, it probably is kind of hindering, because I've had a lot of bosses that just can be really rude, or I don't know, they just don't really care about me, and then I kind of just let them do whatever they want and schedule me way too much just because I wouldn't say no, and they took advantage of me because of that. And I guess I didn't really even realize that. I thought that I was just being really loyal, but I really could have just been more assertive and told them no, and I would have faced no consequences, because it's not like I was doing anything wrong. I just needed to actually speak to them and tell them what I wanted, instead of being passive and letting them take advantage of me in that way. So to go on to the questions, the first one asks, what did you learn about how your personality type influences your communication style, and how this affects the way you interact with others, both personally and professionally? I thought this was really interesting. One of the little paragraphs about ENFJ says, ENFJs know and appreciate people, like NFs and feelers in general. They have thinner psychological boundaries than most and are at risk for being hurt or even abused by less sensitive people. ENFJs often take on more of the burdens of others than they can bear. And for my other quiz, I got passive as one of the highest scores. So I am definitely at risk for like being taken advantage of and just kind of like being passive and like letting people do whatever they want because I don't really want to like deal with the problem. Or I mean, I also think that I don't care as much as other people about certain things, and so if it means more to them to just like have it their way, then it's not really a big deal to me. So I usually am passive, and then I just kind of go with it, but it never really like bothers me. The second question says, in what ways does your personality and communicator style help your interactions with others, and in what ways does it hinder your relationships and or success as a communicator, considered both personal and professional contexts? So for my for both of them together, I mean, I know that being passive is not the way to have a good conversation or to properly communicate with anyone. Like I have read, it can make it so that you're being taken advantage of, and it can make it so like you're built up with like resentment, and then you'll be and then I could be passive aggressive, which is just not a good way to get your point across or to tell anyone how you're feeling. So although I am pretty passive, I did get assertive as equal. I mean, it was four A's and 4 D's. So I mean, I can be assertive, and that's has helped me with my relationships, and both personally and with business. So what I learned the most about doing this exercise was, I guess, that I'm passive. And I already knew that, and I want to work on that, and I've been learning a lot about trying to be more assertive, and that just kind of being able to speak instead of like being quiet is really helpful. I guess I've just always been really quiet and reserved about things until I really want to speak them, and then it comes across as kind of like blunt or rude. I mean, I do speak my mind, but it's just like there needs to be a balance. So learned a lot, and I will definitely be doing more video replies for assignments.